second. And
Hello?
now, hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Gitte, you're back. Very
Okay,
good.
I'm back. Just had to restart a few times. You know, when you use Windows, that is what happens. Hi, my name is Gitte Hansen. I have worked as an Agile coach for a while. And I was asked to talk without getting a subject. So I just asked what people wanted to hear about, and it seems that my friends at least want to hear about the way I am. So this is the story of the way I do Agile coaching. So why am I doing this talk? And the first one is I really find being an Agile coach amazing. I love my job. I love helping people. I love that I'm able to work with Agile and that I can see that I make a difference for people. I make a difference in their work, but I also sometimes make a difference in their life. And I also want to do this talk because I see a lot of there's one way of doing stuff. I really hate when people are like this, and I do believe that there's no one way. My way may be totally different from everyone else's. I'm not sure a lot of Agile coaches use glitter. But I wanted to show that there are different ways. And also that I found out in retrospect that daring to be me has helped me at my work and in my life. So starting to become more and more me and not being afraid to be who I am has actually helped me at work. So I want to share my learnings. And finally, if you don't learn anything, I hope you at least will smile. So that is the purpose of this. So if I look back, this is me a few years ago. Well, actually it isn't me because I wouldn't use that much makeup. I probably wouldn't use that flashy clothes either. I would be more gray and hiding in the corner. I did have a lot of opinions, but I was always afraid to speak up. And during the last years, I have started to become something else. I am a Scrum Ninja. Usually I hate this term, but I got it as a nickname when I was working with a big Agile transformation. And I kind of like it also because another thing that I am an ant. And I'm also a pirate. And being a pirate and a ninja is really, really cool when you have a nephew who's about 5. So this is also part of who I am. I like to get them young so I can make them small geeks. I'm also a dragon lady. I like dragons. I used to not to pretend like I don't like dragons because that's not for adults, but now I do. I am also into Yoda because Yoda is wise and cool. And I stopped being so serious. This is supposed to be a serious picture that my friend Søren and I took for our blog. And we just couldn't get a good picture because we were laughing so hard. So that is also who I am now. I'm actually laughing out loud. I can also be serious. This is from Play for Agile, where I actually talked about being brave. So now I'm kind of all of these. Instead of being a gray mouse hiding in a corner, I'm all of these, and I'm proud to be these. And I didn't actually relate this to my work. It just happened that I found out that being all these things and being me actually helps me at work. So to me, courage is about being brave. And actually, I really like that Michael took up this subject about being courageous, because I think that all the examples that he showed are really good examples of how you can be brave. The original meaning of courage was actually showing your heart. I used to do that a little bit when I was younger. When it was really, really important, I showed my heart. But now I have learned that if I show my heart, if I am vulnerable, people will feel safe with me. And also, I found out that to be yourself, you have to be brave. So last year, I took the consequence. I went to a tattoo artist, and I had a tattoo called Be Brave. To me, this symbolizes, it had nothing to do with my work. It symbolizes that I have to be brave enough to be me. But the really cool thing was that I found out that being brave and being me and being vulnerable helps me at work. So I have a few examples. So one thing is that I am actually silly. So this is my new apprentice. He started as an Agile coach half a year after me, and since I was the Scrum Ninja, I had to train him. So being silly like this might seem ridiculous to some people, and I didn't do it to actually help me at work. Another thing that I did was I played a Jedi. I just love when you're in this big building, you have automated doors, and you can just wave your hand and you feel like a Jedi. And to me, this was always just fun. But the really cool part was that one day an Indian guy, Shiva, my friend, came up to me and he said, I really like it when you do this. You don't care if people think you are silly. And I thought, well, that's nice of him to say. And then I found out that me being silly actually made him feel safe with me. So being silly and playing with the door made him feel so safe that he could ask me questions that he didn't dare ask anyone else. Because I showed that I'm not afraid to ask questions, because I went around being silly, it was okay to ask me silly questions. And when you come from India and you live in Denmark for half a year, there's a lot of questions that might be silly, or at least might feel silly to you. Because it seems like everyone around you is doing something and you don't know why. So I found out that me being like this, with all the silliness and everything it is, actually made people feel safe with me. And that was kind of a revelation to me about how I am as a person, and also how much it helps me at work being who I am. So this is kind of how it started, with me just feeling free to actually be silly sometimes. And then I decided that I wanted to become more brave, try something else. So when I was a kid, when I was 10 years old, I invented this sentence, that if we all do stuff that matters a little to us but a lot to others, we can make this world a better place. It can be anything from smiling to someone, to talking to someone, to holding the door, anything. And I started doing this as a child, and I've done it all through my life. But I've also been a little bit afraid of doing it. And then at some point, 1.5 years ago, I decided I wanted to do a smile campaign. Because one of the simplest things you can actually do to people is to give them a smile. So I started being a smile pusher. So the one on the left is the poster I made, and the picture on the right is a picture of the poster hanging. So what I did at work was I made these posters where you could take a smile, and one evening I went around and put them at all the coffee machines. And it was a little bit terrifying, actually, because it was something that was important to me, and I wasn't sure people would make fun of this. And then 2 days later, I had to put up new ones because all the smiles have been taken. So apparently people actually need these smiles. And even today, when I pass the offices, sometimes I will see that smile being on somebody's desk, people giving it to each other. So my purpose of spreading smile at work seemed to actually work. And again, I did it for myself mostly because I wanted to spread smiles. But it actually turned out that people really, really liked this. People started smiling at each other. People started making jokes at each other. We also made this whiteboard in one of the coffee machines where we would write small stories, or actually draw small stories. So like at Christmas, somebody would make a tree, and then somebody would draw something else, and all of a sudden we would have a whiteboard full of crazy stuff. Sometimes it would all be nice pictures. Sometimes it would be geeky pictures. Sometimes it would be really crazy stuff. And then sometimes we would wipe the board and start all over, and maybe make a topic and say we want to write up or draw about spring. But the point was, you never knew who was making the other drawings, and yet it just made us feel happy. So I started doing this, and I found out that spreading happiness is also one thing I'm really good at. And then I went the next step, and I went into glitter. So I literally spread sparks of glitter. Well, I only do it when I'm at Agile coach camps and places where people accept this, but I really do spread glitter, literally. So when I go to these coach camps, I offer people glitter tattoos. And somebody told me, well, I'm not just getting a glitter tattoo, I'm getting an experience. I get to choose the tattoo, you put it on me, it takes 2-3 minutes to actually heat up the glue with my hands. So there's also a connection with that person. I put on the glitter. So it's kind of not just getting the glitter, but the whole experience of having me giving my full attention for a little while. And I'm definitely spreading glitter. People try to avoid it, and they will come home and they will have glitter in their suitcase. So I do it literally when I go to Agile coach camps, and I try to do it at work. So we can have more fun, because I believe that if we have fun at work, we will be happier there. If we are happier there, we will be more motivated. If we are more motivated, we will work harder. Well, maybe not harder, but at least we will be more efficient. And if we're more efficient, we make more money. So if we can have some fun at work, if we can spread some glitter, if we can spread some sparks, I believe that we can make our workplace a better place. And again, this is something I just did for fun, and looking back, I was really amazed about how people took this in at the coach camps. Of course, at work I don't spread glitter. I'm considering it. When I'm going to work in Germany, I'm not sure they are glitter people. But spreading small sparks of happiness can also change something. It makes people smile at me, and when they smile at me, their brain thinks that I'm a nice person, which means that it's easier to talk to me. When I do silly stuff, it's okay for them to do silly stuff. When I ask for help, it is easier for them to ask for help. And what I like most about all this is I didn't do it to get all this. I just did it because, like asking for help, I did it because I wanted help. So I had this new team, and they were doing this team building exercise about what do you want, what can you contribute in this team, what can you learn, what do you want to learn? And I said, I would really, really like to learn about Indian culture because I never worked with Indians before. And just saying this out loud made a real difference, because then the others were okay with saying, well, I really want to know about this tool because I never tried it before. So me making myself vulnerable and asking for help makes it easier for other people to ask for help. And I find that actually asking for help is one of the hardest things when I'm working. A lot of people find it so hard to ask for help. They're afraid to be seen as weak. So when I work with Agile teams, that's something I work with a lot. So I found out that to be the best coach I can be, I have to be me. And this is a picture of a statue, or what you call it, I have at home. And I have to be all of me. So I have to be the white, nice angel, knowing all my stuff, being nice, but I also have to be the other part. I have to be imperfect. I have to embrace being sometimes a little devil who will tease people so that they are provoked. I don't do that a lot, but sometimes. But also, all my imperfections is what allows people to show their imperfections. So when I do training, for instance, I often do trainings in English. My English is not perfect. And if sometimes there will be a word I cannot pronounce, and I joke about it, and that helps the non-native speaking people to ask questions in their language or in their English. A lot of people excuse me and say my English is not really good. But if they can see I make a mistake, then they ask questions in English as well. Not that I'm going to make these mistakes on purpose. I would love to be perfect English speaking and pronounce everything correctly. But not being afraid to be imperfect, and then not reacting badly upon it, because I could just go be really frustrated every time I pronounce something wrong. But I choose to take it as a gift. and saying, this is a really good example that I can take and give to them. If I say something wrong when I do training, I also tell people, okay, I did something wrong, can you tell me why? Sometimes it is really hard, and especially when we do Agile. When we do Agile coaching, there's not one solution to things. Most of it is, it depends. So I use, if I do something wrong, I use this and saying, what could I have done differently? And I show them that I'm also able to make mistakes. So being all of me, being the good parts and the bad parts and the combination, makes me the best coach I can actually be. So takeaways that I want you to have is, be you. Because you are unique. See, I can't pronounce it. You are unique. I want you, well, I hope that you will find this unique combination that is you. Because this unique combination is very, very valuable. And if you find out who you are, the things that you are will be valuable in your work and in your life. Have fun. To me, this is really, really important. We spend so much time at work, and we should remember to have fun. There's a saying that we shouldn't work so much we don't have fun, and we shouldn't have so much fun that we don't work. But we should have fun at work. And like I said before, I also believe that if we have fun at work, the company will make more money because we will be happier. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. This is really the hardest part. I used to always protect myself and thought that was the right way. Now I have found that being vulnerable not only helps me because I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not, but it also helps other people because I'm vulnerable, and that makes it okay for them. And spread some joy. It's free. I mean, a smile is free. Telling a joke is free. Do something and spread joy. So that's all I had. I really love connecting. I just started my blog where I actually wrote about connecting people. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Mail, I am everywhere. And one of the things I really, really like is connecting to people and learning from new people and growing as a person. So that is all I had. The whole point of it is that by being me, I learned to be a better Agile coach.
Okay, thank you, Gitte, for this great talk. In your closing slide with the takeaways, I think you stated be you, and while you were talking, I wrote down in my book, be yourself, which was very clear to me that this is what you wanted to tell us.
Yes.
And being vulnerable for me means not taking yourself too seriously, but being yourself, and not pretending to be anything else. And if you are able to act on your job as you would do in your normal life, then I think it's the right direction. Okay, do we have any questions for Gitte? I can see on the questions sheet, Claudio is saying, be yourself, everyone else is already taken, which is a quote by Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
And Lisa is telling us she has a question, so I try to unmute Lisa now. Hopefully it works. Here we go. One moment. Now, Lisa, Lisa can only type. She has no mic. Okay. So we will read it.
Can I see the question somehow?
In the dashboard, there's a question tab, but I don't see it at the moment. Anyone else? Okay, now here it is. So I love Gitte's personality, but if I were being myself, I'm actually very shy. So I have to be someone else in order to have an effect.
Yeah, I think it is a problem if you're really shy. It might be a problem, but I also think that's a problem of our society, that we kind of expect people to be outwards. But I also think that shy people and being open about being shy will help you. So if you are open about you being shy, I believe that this will help you when you work with people. So that could be, to me, that could be a first step of being you when you do work. So maybe you have to be someone else for a little while, but you can take small steps. That's what I did. I used to be really, really shy. You may not believe this, but 6 years ago I was afraid to talk in a meeting with my own team. And now I'm here. Okay, I'm a little bit afraid, but I still do it. So I believe that if you are honest about being shy, I think that will help you in being you. But it's not easy, not in the world today. I think introverts are, and shy people are looked upon as something strange. And I find it
Okay,
sad.
Lisa is answering. Okay, thanks, Gitte. Lisa is answering. Okay, thanks, Gitte. I will try it. So do we have any other questions? I don't see any. I can tell you a story about this Take a Smile sheet. We had a similar one, which was just a big post-it, and we put it on the walls. And I know the experience. It's really nice if you have people take a smile. Just try it out in your own workspace. It works very good.
Yeah, and I think that small stuff like this, like somebody was surprised when I went to go for coffee, and one of my friends was in an e-meeting, one of my colleagues was in an e-meeting, and had been in an e-meeting for more than an hour, so I brought him coffee. And it didn't matter to me because I walked to the coffee machine anyway and I have two hands. But to him it mattered a lot because he had been sitting there for more than an hour and he needed coffee. Not that coffee is good for you, but he needed the coffee. So so I think that doing small stuff like that would really help.
Okay.
So I see a question, but I'm not sure if that's for me. Did working Agile support this process? Is that for me or?
So you see more than I see. Yes, Michael is...
Okay, yes. Yes, working Agile really supports this process. To me, the values of Agile, like courage that Michael also mentioned earlier, has really helped me in my process of becoming me. And actually the really big step that made me become brave enough to be me was meeting the Agile community in Europe. I haven't met a lot of people in Denmark, but I went to the German Agile Coach Camp in 2011. I met the Agile community. I found out that there are other people like me. I wasn't alone. And that a lot of them are a little bit crazy, which is a positive. It's a compliment for me. I really like that people are open and willing to try, and they're willing to help you and support you. So it's kind of in the Agile way of thinking to try out stuff. For instance, we inspect and adapt, and inspecting and adapting with yourself helped me. And also having this community behind me or with me or in front of me, depending on in what area, really helped me.
Okay. In the questions window, we have two statements of good books, and I don't know whether all the participants can see these questions, so I'm just trying to answer and send it to all. So this was the first one.
Introvert.
And this was
yeah.
second. I think it is a reply to your question from Lisa. And so there are 2 book recommendations for being shy and talking to the world, I think. All right. So, I don't see any questions now. If any of my co-moderators sees anything, just skip in. If not, Gitte, many thanks for your talk, and perhaps we can just go on and have the third talk now.
Okay, thank you for being here.